So one thing I did want to bring up, and this is very simple, okay? Apparently, we're calling people who back Cody Rhodes Cody crybabies. All right, and I like that joke. It's fine. The Rock, he's cool. But in my opinion, if we're gonna call people Cody crybabies, then we gotta call the other side Roman Riders. All right, as far as I'm concerned, Roman Riders sounds like the best thing for those people. All right, because they all over that knob when it comes to the tribal chief. Let's just be honest here. All right, let's go. All right.
That is fact.
You're
not wrong with that.
I'm starting the podcast with some fucking fire, okay? I want to let these people know, all right? If we Cody Cryberries, then y'all are Roman Riders. And it's okay. You can be Roman Riders. Just don't deny it. It's okay. That's it.
What does it say about me that I'm both?
You like your ice cream mixed. I don't know. So, one thing I wanted to start off with is the Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua fight. I saw this fight live. Holy fucking shit. Anthony Joshua shocked me. First of all, I want to say that Francis Ngannou is a new boxer, all right? But when he went on and fought Tyson Fury and whooped his ass for that fight, a guy who's never boxed before professionally said, you know what, I'm going to fight the heavyweight championship of the world, and I'm going to knock him down and dance on his corpse. Hey, yo. It was the craziest thing to me. So I'm like, wow, Francis Ngannou really is going to go in there against Anthony Joshua and shock the world. Then he's going to challenge Fury. Anthony Joshua said, nah, go back to the salt mines, and fucking knocked his ass down. And when he knocked his ass down, it wasn't once, it wasn't twice. He knocked him down twice, and then as soon as he got up and the ref counted to 8, motherfucker knocked him out so clean, like he did to Stipe Miocic. Turned his ass into a pretzel. That was crazy. So I think hands down, I want to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury for the belt. I know that Fury's going to go up against Usyk. I hope that Fury wins that fight just so we can get the Joshua versus Fury fight, because damn, nothing against Usyk. Usyk's really good at what he does, but damn, I just want Joshua to go up against Fury so bad. After what he did to Ngannou, man is so calm, collected, and focused. It's like he has a whole new mindset. It's like he got hypnotized by Fury's fucking, shamans, you know what I mean? So whatever it is, I hope Anthony Joshua wins, and I hope Anthony Joshua gets that title again, because it looks like he deserves it. Man worked hard for this spot. I could tell. He's got fucking murder in his eyes, you know what I mean? I like that shit. So, good for him. Now, the one thing that I did want to get to after this, we talk about real boxing. Let's talk about play boxing, okay? Let's talk about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I want to get your take on this, Guido. What do you think?
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
Other than money.
Other than money,
would be the
okay?
obvious answer.
Money's the answer for everything. Yeah.
yeah. Other than money, why the fuck is this happening?
That's my take as well.
Has Jake Paul fought a real boxer yet?
He fought one. His name was Tommy Fury, which, he's more of a part-timer than anything else. He says he did it his entire life, which I doubt it. With his showings against Jake Paul and KSI, I doubt it. But yeah, Tommy Fury was a legit boxer, and Jake lost. So,
there you go.
That's it. Now, of course, people are going to say, oh, what about the last 2 fights where he fought this one guy who was up and coming and this other guy who was an Uber driver? Yeah, that's it. There's this one kid who wasn't special. He got knocked down pretty quickly. And then he fought another guy who was way past retirement and got knocked the fuck out in the first round after not putting up much of a fight. So, and then people found out that motherfucker's an Uber driver. So, it's obvious that he wasn't going hard, for the fight. He just wanted a quick payday, which is normal for boxers, to be honest. They pad their records with a bunch of jobbers, the equivalent of jobbers, rather. Which is fair, but I really want to see Jake get ragdolled. The thing is, I don't think it's going to happen with Mike Tyson. And that's hard for me to say, because Mike Tyson is 50-6. He's one of the best world heavyweight champions of all time. Como se dice, undisputed. You know what I mean? He's great at what he does. He's an amazing knockout artist. I've seen quite a few matches, not so many, but I've definitely seen quite a few matches of his, and the way he dominated people, especially the top guys at his time, is absolutely transcendent. I mean, a lot of people learned the boxing of Sorry, I'm trying to speak English. It's hard for me. The sport of boxing evolved because of Mike Tyson. It's crazy how quickly things changed once Mike Tyson became dominant. You know, people started gauging distance a lot better. People started, como se dice, getting used to people fighting in the pocket. You know, the way Mike Tyson fought was different from everyone else. So it was crazy how boxing evolved over time. So I'm not taking away his accolades. Mike Tyson, he's amazing. That being said, he's going to be 58 when the fight starts. He's pushing 60. Now, like I said, Mike Tyson's still a bad motherfucker, especially after some recent training footage. He's definitely still got some fucking chops. But Jake Paul is not only in his physical prime at 27, but he is also roided to fuck. I'm not saying Mike Tyson isn't either, but Jake Paul is young and he's roided out. Man is on every single fucking anabolic steroid, test tube, drug imaginable. Against Tyson, Mike Tyson, I don't like it. I don't think this fight should have ever been made, but I know why it was made. It was for money. Mike Tyson wants to make a big payday, and so does Jake Paul. Fair. Now, one thing that I find distasteful. There's two sides of this for me. Two sides. One where both of them are bad, by the way. There's two sides, two results from this fight that either way you look at it, it's bad for everyone involved, reputation-wise. Is one where it's a simple light sparring match where they're just, little taps. Let's get in there and play. And they're hitting each other with light shots, maybe a couple haymakers, but nothing crazy, right? And then they get through the entire fight. It's like, oh man, we both win. Como se dice, everybody wins. The power of friendship. And it's just a dumb exhibition where no one fucking gets knocked out. No one puts up a really decent fight. And it's entertaining. It's not even entertaining. And it's boring as hell. This has happened multiple times with Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, along with, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis, along with some other fights that Jake has pulled. It's just boring ass fights until the finish. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this, I think
that's the most likely outcome.
That's what I think too. Is that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are just gonna play fucking a little sparring match for however many rounds it is. All right, no one's gonna go for each other's heads. So this is gonna be a dumb waste of everybody's fucking time. Not worth it. Now that's one ending, and I think that's the better ending of the two. Now the second ending is Jake Paul actually trying to go for the knockout, actually trying to take out a legend in the sport. If Jake Paul actually does this, he's actually human garbage, in my opinion. He's actually the equivalent of waste, toxic waste, if that. I can't imagine a boxer in his prime right now going up against a legend that's 20 years past his time, thinking that was a good idea. Dragging him out of retirement just to knock him down in front of everybody and to spit on his legacy. I'm not down with that. So it better be a light sparring match. Better fucking be. Because it's not going to be a good fight. Because if it's an intense fight, one of the other's gonna get knocked out, and I tell you what, it ain't gonna be Jake Paul getting knocked out. And I'm not saying that because he's a good fighter, because he's not. Compared to these best fucking heavyweights, he's not. He's never gonna win a world championship, that kind of thing. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. So we know that, but the fact that he's fighting guys who are retired, ex-UFC guys, and now he's fighting a guy who's been retired for how many years? 20 years? Something crazy? I find it completely distasteful. I find it horrendous, and I just hope to God that this is a light sparring match and they can both walk away with their money. Not my money, though, because I'm not paying for this shit, and neither should you. Neither should anybody who values their time. There are better things you could do with your time and money, like watching paint dry. There's a few things you could do that are better with your time. So, as far as I'm concerned, don't buy this shit. Don't get a Netflix subscription just for this fight. It's not worth your time. It's not worth my time.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to be on Netflix, July something.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The first boxing fight to ever be on Netflix, and it's a fucking sideshow. So, yeah, that's fun. Wow.
So if you have a Netflix subscription, you're paying for it, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, so, hey, man, get out of it. If you don't want to support Paul, get out of it. Me, personally, I have quite reserved negative opinions about the Paul brothers, but we'll save that for later. But definitely 100% not worth your time. Just look up a highlight reel after it's done. And make sure you have ad blocker on. Anyway, moving on. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
Not really. I don't know much about boxing, so.
Yeah, fuck Jake Paul. This is ridiculous. Moving on.
Yeah, fuck Jake Paul.
Yeah. Fuck Jake Paul. So, next thing I want that's on the docket that's sports related is Logan's Prime logo on the mat during PLE events. Yeah, I saw this one live as well. He announced that Prime will be the official sponsor of WrestleMania, and then he showed a big ass Prime bottle right in the middle of the ring. And then I heard that the deal was official, and that now it's gonna be logos, not just Prime, but other logos on the mat as well. How do you feel about that?
So it's kind of a weird thing because it's something that Vince McMahon has been against for so long.
Yeah.
Fucking sponsorships on the mat. Other wrestling promotions do it, and they have done it for a very, very long time. And the closest that WWE has gone to it is in recent years. They start putting logos on like the barricades during certain matches. Like this year's Royal Rumble match had the Cricket 5G wireless logo like on the fucking turnbuckle on the barricades.
Right.
Or last year's WrestleMania, the fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch match
love
between
that
Dom
shit.
and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So, I think, to me that's fine, but like the ring mat, I don't know. I like the look of the ring being clean. I would prefer having the logos on the barricades or outside the ring somewhere, but on the actual ring mat, I don't really know about that, and especially at WrestleMania, it's gonna feel weird to me. It's something I guess I can get used to, but if they're only doing it for PLEs, then it's gonna feel weird. I would say just have it on the mat at all times, or just don't do it at all.
Well, I feel like there's two perspectives to this argument, and one is the fans' perspective, and one is the business perspective. So I'll start with the fans' perspective. The sanctity of the ring. It's been blank for so long. We should not be bothered by sponsors while we're watching WWE events, especially when they're on the fucking mat and you have to stare at them. And then later on, when those logos are blurred because they're not paying them anymore. Like how is that gonna work out? But from a business perspective, I see where the gain is definitely coming from. I'd like to think that they're signing clauses where it's like, hey, if we're gonna do this, it needs to be able to be shown on replays as well. It depends. I mean, like, let's say for example, Prime may turn controversial after a certain decade or so, depending on how Logan Paul kind of circumvents his character. Which, by the way, on this channel we don't like Logan Paul at all. We think he's a scumbag and that he scams people out of their money. So, with that being said, if he's brought up on criminal charges or something crazy like that happens, they might have to disassociate from that brand, and that means, once again, blurring the logo on the mat, which won't be fun for anybody involved. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with all of that, but from a business perspective, I do see the gain. It is more money. It is more advertisements. And I mean, at the end of the day, you look at their PLEs and you look at everything. I mean, everything's advertised out the ass already. So the mat, for me personally, seems unnecessary, but I'm assuming that the companies who do want to be on the mat are paying way more than any other sporting event that lets logos on the mat, like more than UFC, more than boxing. They're paying way more because of the sanctity of that mat. So I'd say I see the short-term gain, but from a fan's perspective, I disagree with the decision. I do. And I'd have to side with the fans.
I was really hoping that it would be like a work as part of the storyline with Logan Paul.
Same.
Doesn't seem to be the case.
Fuck's sake, man.
I mean, the fact that KSI got RKO'd on the Prime bottle, that was a fun visual.
That was worth it. Yeah. Como se dice? Now with RKO, como se dice? With Randy doing the RKO, Randy fucking hates Logan after Logan cost Randy the fucking belt at Elimination Chamber, or rather, the opportunity at a belt. So now we have Logan Paul and Randy feuding, but Kevin Owens got put into the mix, like Kurt Angle, and so he got thrown into the mix. Now all of a sudden we have a great match that I can't wait to watch at Mania. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in a triple threat match for the United States Championship at Mania. I'm down, bro. I'm down. I know that match is gonna be so fucking good. Ooh.
Logan Paul has yet to have a bad match in WWE, and he's already so unlikable that it just makes his heel character that much better. But to pair him up with Kevin Owens, who's fucking hilarious and a great, in-ring performer, and then Randy Orton, who's just a fucking legend at this point.
Yeah.
You're getting everything with that match. I think that I think that match has the potential to steal the show. I think Logan Paul said they were doing night 2, so we'll see.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna say, I would love to see that fucking match. I think it's gonna steal the show. Who do you think's gonna win?
I want Kevin Owens to win, honestly.
Yeah, same here. I want Kevin Owens to win, but I didn't ask you who you wanted to win.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna win? Oh boy.
Honestly, the way it's going, I kind of see Logan retaining.
Yeah, same. Unfortunately.
I feel like it would be funny though how they make him retain, because how he already is with his brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like they're just gonna pull some zany shit, and Logan's gonna steal the win.
Yeah,
so,
I definitely think he's gonna steal the win. I definitely think it'll be a great match. I think Kevin Owens will outperform everybody, which is crazy because Randy Orton's one of the greatest of all time. But Kevin is just special.
He's on a different level, man.
He's bombastic. You know what I mean? He's great.
Yeah. He's very fun to watch on the mic and in the ring.
So I think fans' pick is Kevin Owens. We want Kevin Owens to win. Who do we think is actually going to win? Like realistically, Logan
Paul. Yeah,
that's what we got.
Yeah.
Next point. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Brother, Seth Rollins is underselling Drew McIntyre massively. Underrating his ass at every turn. You're a side quest type shit, bro. Jesus Christ. How do we feel about this match? Who do we think is gonna win? Blah blah blah. So let's talk about first. What do we think about the build-up coming into this match so far? Anyway, how do you feel about the build-up?
I was very iffy about the build-up at first because the whole thing of Seth Rollins focusing on the bloodline with Cody and not so much about Drew McIntyre was bothering me.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's at a point where it makes sense because Seth has already beaten Drew before, twice. I believe both of them were world title matches. So he's already beaten him before. And so it makes sense for Seth to kind of, let his ego get to him when it comes to facing Drew McIntyre.
Talk that shit.
But I don't think he understands he's facing a different Drew McIntyre. Because Drew is so determined at this point to literally do anything to win that title, and the fact that he's like a heel, but the fans still love him, and it's like he's in this weird limbo of being a babyface and a heel at the same time. I think the build-up specifically from Drew's part has been fantastic because he's providing arguments that it's you don't want him to lose.
Yeah.
Because Seth is getting distracted and he's using Seth's words against him. It's the workhorse title, it's the wrestler title. But the fact that Seth is so preoccupied with the bloodline, it's like he forgot what the world title meant. And so I think the build-up has been getting better as the weeks have gone on. We still have a couple weeks till WrestleMania, but it's been interesting so far with the build-up between Drew and Seth. So I'm excited. I think the match is going to be great. I already thought their match at Crown Jewel was really good. I think this next one is going to be even better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be a great match. Definitely, those two definitely got chemistry on the mic, and I hope so in the ring. I haven't seen the other matches. Are they any good?
Yeah, their match. They were the opening match at Crown Jewel last year, and it wasn't like the biggest match. But between the two of them, I think they had pretty good in-ring chemistry. And there was one spot in particular that I absolutely loved. And I was kind of disappointed that Drew didn't win that match.
Yeah, I would be too. Nothing happens at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, exactly. That shit is Bizarro World over there.
It really is, bro. Yeah, the world where Jinder Mahal is still champion. That's it.
The world where Shane McMahon is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh fuck. Jesus, can we talk about, bro, how fucking egotistical of a fucking person do you have to be for a person who is not even close to part-time, who wrestles once in a blue moon, to actually win the greatest wrestler of the world trophy. Fuck off. You know what that was? That booking decision was given to Shane just because they want to troll the Saudi Arabian. Of course. That's what they're doing. They're trolling the Saudis. Oh, God.
Like, thank you for your money. Here's your winner.
Bye-bye.
Shane
Bye-bye.
McMahon. Bye-bye. Back to the States.
Back to the States. Oh, Jesus.
Because, you know, when they first started doing the Saudi shows, it felt like that shit never mattered, like, at all. It's like they would come back to the States and, like, nothing changed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Fucking Saudi Arabia, they would never nothing would ever big would happen. I remember the first Crown Jewel. Fucking Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship, and Brock buried Braun, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? You know? Just...
The first Crown Jewel I saw was fucking Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. And it just felt like the most random main event ever. It felt like Logan Paul felt like your created character in like a career mode. And you finally get to like the last stage, but then you fucking lose. That's how it felt. Logan Paul was a created character during that match.
Nothing happens at Crown Jewel.
Nothing happened at Crown Jewel. I mean, because look at now. They basically ignored Roman Reigns versus LA Knight.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
What can you do?
I still love LA Knight, though.
But I think I'm on the side. Back to Drew versus Seth. I'm on the side where Drew needs to win. Very simple. He needs to win.
Yeah.
I think to be taken seriously, I think it's a good idea for him to win. We had this theory stirring between you and me that Seth will drop the title and Becky will lose to Rhea Ripley at Mania, and then those two will have a break so they can take care of their daughter. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think it does make a lot of sense. And then, of course, whenever he comes back, he always has a chance to, you know, fight for the World Heavyweight Championship again.
Of course. Or
even to, like, reignite his feud with Roman Reigns, because that shit technically never ended 2 years ago.
You're right.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, Seth has options. I just think he needs a break.
I think it's a good idea for Seth to come back and definitely challenge Drew McIntyre for the title again. But I think this is the best lead up as well. If Drew wins the title, then Drew can go up against CM Punk at SummerSlam for the championship. Come on now.
Yeah. Drew has a lot of options.
He does.
If he becomes champion, he has so many options for different storylines.
Indeed. I love WWE right now. There's so much, I'm going to say, so many new things to me, so many crazy storylines. I mean, let's talk about Becky versus Rhea for a minute. Let's talk about Rhea, Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. First of all, I just want to say, Becky Lynch fucking destroying her body every week right before the WrestleMania bout, bro. Like, what is happening? She got power bombed off the apron on the floor by Liv Morgan, and then after all of that was in the trainer's office, which is basically like their little physical doctors over there. I'm not trying to sound condescending, my bad. They're little doctors over there. She's literally in the trainer's office. The camera's in front of her, and she's saying, "Yeah, I want to fight Nia Jax next week." It's like, aren't you injured from that power bomb? Like nothing. And then it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, she's all right, I guess. It's like, let me face somebody I literally never beat in singles competition ever next week before one of the biggest matches of my life. Fuck it. Yeah. You know? Like, she's crazy. And she's great. I mean, respect, right? I guess. But, like, to be honest, it's kind of not smart for Becky to be doing all this craziness. I'm talking the character, the person, obviously, because it seems like we're gearing towards, hey, I'm going to lose at Mania, then I'll take a break. You know, my book's selling really good, that kind of thing, right? You know, so that's where I think we're heading. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's only logical. I think that they work up towards a break. You know, because Becky and Seth have both been busting their ass for fucking years at this point. And then, you know, Becky doesn't really need a title win at this stage, I think. She's so over and so popular that a title win is just... It's going to be like a whatever if she wins it, you know?
Yeah, and
it would... If anything, it would hurt Rhea Ripley more than anything.
Exactly.
Becky won.
Exactly. You get it. So, prediction?
Yeah, it's a great... It's a great match.
Yeah,
though.
I think so
Rhea
too.
Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
I agree.
Surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, como se dice, now that she's champion, we will talk about predictions. Who do we think is going to win and who do we want to win? I believe that they're the same answer. Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Gotta be Rhea Ripley.
She deserves to win. She's young, up and coming, winning at a WrestleMania main event with somebody who's kind of out the door. Which I'm not saying Becky Lynch is like out of her prime. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that right now she's so over. You said this already. Is that she's so over? Her winning the championship is like a little blip in her career, while Rhea Ripley defending against Becky is a massive staple in her career. Like Rhea Ripley needs this way more than Becky does. So if Becky wins, I think it would be a really bad booking decision. Me personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up on the docket, Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania. How do we feel about this one?
You know, I was really excited about this match, especially like after the Royal Rumble when Bayley won and everything, and the build-up leading up to it. And then it just feels like they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Until like last week. So I don't know. It's like I was excited. Now I'm not that excited. But then like I like both. I love Io Sky and I love Bayley. So I'm excited to see the two of them go at it at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be a great match. But, you know, the build-up, I think, is kind of iffy.
Everything's
right
on damage control. Dakota's back. Oh, the team. Oh, we're all against Bayley. Yeah. And it's like, that's it. It's kind of, I don't know. It felt plain. I think that's a good word to put it. Plain.
Yeah, it's like
nothing special.
It's nothing new really happening. And I feel like it's also a lack of a 1v1 tension between Io and Bayley. It's very much damage control versus Bayley, but I think they need to build up more of specifically Io Sky versus Bayley. Like, get rid of like Dakota Kai, get rid of the Kabuki Warriors. Like, I need to see a segment of just Bayley and Io one-on-one leading up to WrestleMania. I think that is what we need right now.
Hell, they're doing that with Cody and Roman this Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they needed that shit.
Yeah.
Right now it feels like The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. And now with the damage control shit, you need Io versus Bayley. I don't know.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, I do agree with you.
The build up to WrestleMania 40 has been great and lackluster at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like we've been getting a lot of moments, but not a story. Like we've been getting a lot of parts to a story, but it doesn't not even a story. That's the thing. It's just separate parts. It's as if we're watching a YouTube montage, but like in real time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We're not watching one consecutive story build up over time. Like the John Cena and Rock timeline that they had was built up over a year. And it was great. It was consecutive week after week after week. There was something new. Now it's just like, oh, we're going to talk shit. Okay, move on. Oh, we're going to talk shit. Okay, move on. Nothing new. Nothing interesting. You know what I mean? Like
nothing's escalating.
Like when The Rock was addressing the WWE universe, like from wherever the fuck he was, and then he would talk to like John Cena's fans, and like he would talk to this little boy about the fucking Fruity Pebbles, and like, oh, do you like John Cena? Do you like his little toy? Like those moments like that are so fucking memorable, and are so like you could call back to them no problem. And once again, they're part of a bigger story. Here, it's like, oh, I'm going to say this crazy thing. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to say this crazy thing. It just feels lackluster. There's nothing special. There's no new settings. There's no new much of anything. You know, if anything, the promo work is kind of better on Twitter. You know? Like,
yeah.
I mean, The Rock cut, first of all, I didn't watch it because, you know, I don't have 20 minutes. He made a 20-minute fucking promo on Twitter. Where was that energy? You know what I mean? On the WWE programming. I want to see that shit. So, you know, eventually I'll watch it, but not right now. I feel like The Rock's promos are extremely forced. I don't know, man. It's just...
He's lost it, I think.
He doesn't capture your attention like he used to. You know what I mean? That's the thing with The Rock. Like, the way he talks, he's very pretentious, but that's fine. That's normal. That's Rock. But the thing is now he's talking all his shit, but he's too slow. It's forced. He doesn't have everyone captured in his hand. You know what I mean? And when he turned to Bloodline Rock / Hollywood Rock, people don't really love to boo him. You know what I mean? It's just like kind of, meh, who cares, dude? I want to see Roman versus Cody. It's literally that level, you know? It's,
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that tag match for Rock. I'm looking forward to that tag match for Roman and Cody and Seth. I'm not looking forward for The Rock's performance because I know it's not going to be good. You know, it's going to be him hanging in a corner for a couple of stations for 95% of the match, maybe 90. And then, you know, he does some moves, boom, 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 tired as hell, slow as shit, you know what I mean? And then moves on. It's like, it's just not going to be the greatest performance from him. And his promo work isn't making up for his lack of physical ability. So it's not special to me, you know? It just isn't.
Yeah.
And like I said, The Rock has pulled great work in the Attitude Era and with John Cena. I'm not taking that away from him. But now, no, it's just not. What's your take?
Yeah, the Rock is The Rock. He has always been The Rock. He will always be The Rock.
Damn right.
You know, we all know he's a legend in the business. He's done everything there is to do in the business. But it's just, at this current moment in time in his career, it's just, why?
Yeah.
We don't really need him. And then also, you know, when he does show up, it doesn't feel the same. He doesn't feel like The Rock. He feels like he's imitating The Rock. Like when he does like the "if you smell," it doesn't give off the same energy that it used to. It feels like now he's just saying it just to say it. You know, it used to be a part of his character, but now it feels forced. He's not natural with it anymore.
I mean, The Rock...
I don't know what it is.
And with this lackluster performance, definitely below average for The Rock, it's taking all of the concentration away from Roman, who is giving good performances, and it's taking that attention away from him, and everyone's attention is put on The Rock, as if The Rock is leading this. You were right on the money when you said it looks like it's just Cody versus The Rock, because that's what it is. It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that the slap at the press conference makes sense. But then you could tell, like, afterwards, like, he just leads all of the exchanges. He leads all the talks. And, like, Roman doesn't talk much. And that's fine. He doesn't need to talk much. But why is Rock doing all the talking for him, dude? Stop. Stop. I don't like that shit. Make Paul Heyman do it. He's great at it. Let him fucking do it. Because he's not a physical threat. You know what I mean? But Dwayne is. So it's just...
Yeah, I think so far my favorite moment of The Rock being in the bloodline is when... he was going to do the "if you smell," and Roman stopped him. Yeah. Like, simply just put his hand on his wrist to stop him. And he's, "I need you to acknowledge me." That scene, you know, that moment right there was everything I needed. But I feel like they didn't capitalize on it well. Because, you know, The Rock acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. And then Roman hasn't done shit since.
The Rock should have fallen behind the background. That's what he should have done. He should have fallen behind, you know? But that's not what he did!
Exactly. I feel like, you know, instead of having the Roman come out and then The Rock come out separately, you know, how
they all come out together!
How interesting would it be if they all came out together, but if The Rock was standing behind Roman?
Yeah!
Because you know Roman's entrance. He got Jimmy behind him. He got Paul behind him. He got Solo. Add The Rock in there. Show that he's fallen in line. That's interesting.
Let Rock play a manager role. You know what I mean? That's it.
Exactly.
Let him be there alongside Paul Heyman. Like, hell, you know, he could be in the ring, like, next to Solo, but Rock is barely going to talk. Rock is going to talk when he's addressed. That's it. Let Roman be the big dog. Pass the fucking torch, Dwayne.
Yeah, like maybe have Paul cut a promo, or even have Roman cut a promo, and then after that he hands off the mic to The Rock, and then once The Rock is done with his shit, he hands the mic back to Roman or Paul, and then they finish the segment. The Rock is hogging too much of the spotlight.
He really is. Man takes 20 minutes to string together 3 sentences. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dumb. It's not.
Yeah, it's this shit. I don't know.
Meanwhile, Seth has buried his ass with that. Listen here, Mr. Midlife Crisis. Like, that line beat everything that Rock said, that entire fucking promo. All right? At least towards Seth, you walking clown emojis. Like, yeah, that's funny, but Mr. Midlife Crisis is real. That's real. Man got it right there. And so
it doesn't help that he's called him a clown emoji like over 100 times at this point.
Yeah, that too. It's fucking dumb.
Seth had 2 insults towards The Rock, and both of them were a million times better.
Yeah, of course it was. And on one thing I also want to add. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so, The Rock has called him a clown show 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Seth called him Diarrhea Dwayne
There you go.
once, and had the crowd chanting it.
Diarrhea, diarrhea, bro. I was dying because here's the thing. He didn't even say the word diarrhea, and people were cheering because he tweeted that shit before or something, right? And people
He said it on Raw, and they were chanting it on SmackDown.
It was crazy. People lost their minds. I was losing it. They actually chanted diarrhea. I've never heard of that in my entire life. Diarrhea. It's great.
I think going into this tag match at WrestleMania, the most underrated by far is Seth Rollins. I think people underestimate him way too much.
Easy. Well, because he's a part of it, but it's not his story. His story is him versus Drew. Except even Seth's not treating it like it's a story that he cares about. You know
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's why Drew's gonna win, so that's okay.
Yeah. It makes up for it.
When Rock said to Cody, "You know why you were born 20 years later? Why? What do you think? Because you were a mistake." It's like, damn, that was actually pretty decent. And then Cody comes in with the right hand, and then just fade to black. It's like, wait, so Rock didn't do anything? You think he would? You think he would fall back under the spotlight after that because he was a bitch and he didn't do anything? But then next fucking promo, he's out here cutting a concert on fucking live television. It's like, what the? He's the sole fucking spotlight guy now? I didn't see that promo, so I'm not too sure. But it seemed like it was just him under a spotlight cutting songs and talking shit. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, well then what the fuck?
I think the slap works a lot better, though, if you saw his full promo that he did on Instagram before the Rock concert. I think it makes sense why he didn't do anything then. Because he admired it. That Cody grew some balls and slapped him. So when he said that, I'm like, okay, it makes sense why he didn't do anything. And he did have a smile after Cody smacked him. So it's like, okay, it's just The Rock being The Rock.
That's cope. That's cope. You saw how steamed he was after the press conference, the way he talked to Triple H? That's cope. Nah, ain't no way. He don't respect shit. That's cope. That's all it is, all right?
No, not the press conference slap when Cody slapped him.
No, that's what I'm saying afterwards. And so what I'm saying is that Dwayne saying that he respects Cody after Cody slapped him is bullshit because after the presser, how angry he was and how willing he was to fight when people were being held back. Now all of a sudden no one's being held back. Now The Rock wants to scurry and be like, I respect that. No, he doesn't. He's coping. That's it. That's my opinion on his character. That's it. He's coping. Fuck him. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I think The Rock's Instagram promos are better than anything he's doing on live
Which
TV
is
right
crazy,
now.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
It's weird because it's like his last one was literally just him in a gym just talking shit about Cody and his mom. And it's like a million times better than what he actually did in the Rock concert. So.
Oh shit! Like where's that energy? Right? Where the fuck is
where's
that
energy? Where's that Rock?
Yeah. Why doesn't SmackDown or Raw just take that promo and cut it up and use it for their show? I don't know.
Yeah, all they have to do is like censor it, maybe.
Yeah.
Just have like a little thing on the corner. This is The Rock via satellite, like they did back in 03 when he didn't actually show up.
That's what I'm saying, man. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe because he doesn't want to get memed to death. Oh, look at this. He's doing the satellite thing again. I don't know. Maybe.
He's already getting memed to death, bro. I forget. One of his Instagram promos, he was wearing a fucking cowboy hat, and I didn't watch that promo, but apparently he said, "Off is the direction you can fuck."
Damn.
I've been seeing that clip out of context like every chance I get. It's so good.
I can imagine. Jesus.
Just a Rock in a fucking cowboy hat. Off is the direction you can fuck. It's like, all right, calm down, bro.
I mean, fair. He's got it. Yeah. So, predictions. What do we think about the first night? Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. Predictions, and who do we want to win? Continue. You first.
What I think is going to happen, and what I actually want to happen, is that The Rock and Roman win by The Rock getting the pin on Cody. That's what I want.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that that's what's going to happen, and I also agree with that's what I want to happen, mainly to kind of fuel The Rock, and so eventually when Rock has a feud with Roman, it'll be even stronger, and also to make Cody Rhodes look like it's an even more of a losing battle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the fact that Bloodline rules is something that may indeed happen at night
Yeah.
2, which I hope they don't try to take that away. Remember how Paul made a deal? Oh, if you do this, come on, say so we'll take away the Bloodline. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Keep it. Keep
Oh, no,
it.
that was just for SmackDown.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, because Roman and Cody are confirmed to have a one-on-one segment.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna finally come face-to-face one-on-one. And so the deal was that if Cody comes to SmackDown alone on Friday, then Roman is not gonna have any Bloodline members with him
Shit.
on SmackDown as well. That wasn't for WrestleMania. That was for SmackDown.
You think Roman's
So,
lying?
I think. So Cody's smart. He's not an idiot.
Right.
I think Seth is gonna be at SmackDown, but he won't show up unless Roman has someone with him. I think that's what it's going to. I think Roman is going to have, maybe Solo hiding somewhere. He's going to say he's alone, but he's not really alone.
Yeah, you know
I don't
what
know.
I think? Jay.
What's up?
He's going to be at SmackDown. Seth didn't come, but Jay did. That was the stipulation.
That would be interesting.
That was the stipulation that Seth couldn't come, but Jay said that he had Cody's back. So
No, the stipulation was that he comes alone.
Oh, I think he just said no. He said that, but then he said no Seth, and then he didn't say anything about Jay. So that's what I think is gonna be. I think it's gonna be Jay.
I mean, I think either both of them are coming alone, or both of them have something up their sleeve.
I agree.
I don't think Cody gets blindsided. I do not think that's the case. He's too smart for.
I agree.
Yeah. And if he does get blindsided, it would just be like, what the fuck, bro?
Why?
Like, you really trusted Roman?
Like, you're already gonna shit on him in night 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we've got night 1 on the way. Night 2. How do we feel about? What do we think the prediction is, and what do we want the prediction to be, and what does it mean for the WWE? That's the third question on there for you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one because, it seems obvious that it's going to be Cody winning and night 2 against Roman and becoming the WWE Undisputed Champion. But that could be what they want us to think because, looking back at Roman's previous WrestleMania matches, it seemed like every single time people were expecting a different winner than Roman Reigns, and yet Roman has always come out on top. I think the only one where people knew it's like, yes, obviously Roman was when he fought Brock Lesnar.
Right.
That's just because they fought like a million times. Like, of course it's gonna be Roman.
Brock ain't
but then
back.
with with WrestleMania 39, it was Cody and Roman, and everyone's like, yeah, Cody's finishing the story. And so when Roman won, it immediately became one of the most infamous WrestleMania moments because people were so sure that the Bloodline story was over and that Roman wasn't going to be champion. And I'm kind of getting that vibe again. The closer we get to WrestleMania 40, the more I'm like, Cody might not win. I don't know what it is, but there's so many factors. It's, you have The Rock, he could cost Cody the title. They could keep the title on Roman just to play it safe, keep the status quo with how it's been. They might be afraid to give the title to someone else at this point. And I don't know. There's a lot to think about going into it, especially from like a booking perspective. It's like what do you do with Cody after he wins the title? Right. Because if he just goes on to fight like fucking Dominic Mysterio for the title, it's gonna immediately, bring the prestige that the WWE title has. It's gonna lower. Yep. So you need someone. If you give it to Cody, Cody's obviously going to be a workhorse, right? He's going to defend that title every chance he gets. But he can't just be having these fucking jobber feuds if he's the WWE champion. Roman only fights main eventers, and he's part-time. He only shows up like once every 4 months. So it's like, I don't know. It's a lot of different things. So I think right now, where it stands, I think we're like, 2 weeks away from WrestleMania?
Give or take.
2-3 weeks? It can go either way right now, I think. But I want it to be Cody. But I'm also going to say I would not be mad if Roman retained. Because I am a Roman fan as well.
Indeed. He's a crybaby and a writer. You see, it works both ways.
Exactly. And, another thing, is that it's more of just the where do you go after WrestleMania. That's really what you have to think about when it comes to the winner. It's not about like, oh, but Roman has beaten him before, so obviously he's going to win again. It's like, no, that's not the case. It's where does the WWE go from here after WrestleMania? Because whoever wins, it's going to determine like the next year for WWE, and it's an important one. It's an important thing because if Cody wins and then his title reign is lackluster, his win will be for nothing, and Roman would just have lost the title for no reason. And vice versa. If Roman retains and they do nothing with him, then it was a waste of time, and people are going to be even more pissed.
I agree, and there's another thing there as well. I agree with you the fact that the future's kind of uncertain if Cody wins, because if you look at something like Drew, if Drew wins, we already know what the future is. It's rematch with Seth Rollins, maybe in the far future, but also a fight with CM Punk. I mean, Drew McIntyre's got a decent line stack. Yeah, easy. Yeah. So we have that.
Lots of stuff.
But if we look at the Cody thing, it's like, who is on the level of Cody if Cody does indeed win? Which, by the way, let me get my predictions out of the way. I think that Cody will win, and I want Cody to win. That being said, once again, I wouldn't be too mad if Roman did win, but I also think that if Roman won, who else is there to challenge Roman? There is simply nobody. You know what I mean? Simply
Chad
nobody.
Gable. Owens versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
You're like, no, it's just not yet. You don't move a fighter like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's not. We'll see. Maybe. Hey, why not?
Yeah, so it's a really big iffy thing. This is a random thought, but I literally just realized this yesterday. Did you notice that Seth Rollins is currently the only babyface champion?
Yeah.
In WWE, everyone else is a heel, which is surprising to me.
I think there's going to be a lot of title changes. Como se dice, I think.
Yeah.
Como se dice. But the main thing for me is that Cody Rhodes winning the championship, I think, is good for the company. I mean, once again, he's a workhorse, like you said. But also is that he loves the fans. He's the guy that fucking kisses the babies on the way down to the fucking ring, So that's good. He can be he can be a face of the franchise. Quote. But the thing is I agree with you that he needs to fight people on his level, and there's not many of those there. But then again, he could fight people like LA Knight. He could fight people like
Randy Orton. A lot of people want Cody versus Randy.
Yeah, I do want to see Cody versus Randy. I also want to see Kevin Owens fight for that championship.
I think Kevin Owens is at that spot, main event for sure.
There are, you know what? Let me recant my earlier statement. I do think there's a lot of there's a lot of people who can win that championship off of Cody.
There are heavy hitters, but at the same time, a lot of them have already lost to Roman.
Right, but then
and so it's just kind of like a.
I think one thing that they're going to use as an excuse is styles make matches. You know what I mean? Like, como se dice, like a certain wrestler against a certain wrestler won't be the same result as that same wrestler fighting another wrestler that previous wrestler already beat. You get my drift?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, it's a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. But also, Cody did lose to Roman, so he is in that category as well.
Yeah. Which is crazy. So I do think that there are plenty of people who can go up against Cody. I just don't know who they would choose initially.
It's hard. It's really hard because do you continue the bloodline stuff with Cody? Like, do you have him feud The Rock, who's gonna be gone after WrestleMania? So what the fuck is the point?
Imagine Jay fucking betrays him like after the match, like, oh, he won, that's crazy, and then super kick. Oh, what? Oh, I want that championship. Like, oh,
joins
whoa,
the bloodline again.
Whoa! I was a plant from day one. What?
that would be so shocking, and it'd be like, all right, so all that character development was fucking
out the window. Yeah, literally yeeted his entire career. That's great.
Yeah. Literally yeeted. Yeah.
But yeah,
I am honestly, Uso versus Uso is one of the most anticipated matches for me going into WrestleMania. I'm really excited for that match. Honestly,
it's gonna be a good one. I feel it. It's gonna be a good one. You know what?
Yeet versus no Yeet.
Yeet versus no Yeet. It's easy. It really is. There are so many good matches for this WrestleMania card. Another thing I wanna bring up is the massive 6-pack ladder match for the tag team championship at WrestleMania. Holy shit! Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, they're gonna steal the show. That's gonna be a great fucking match. Oh, they're gonna kill each other for our entertainment. It's gonna be great. That's it.
Yeah. Who we got right now? So we got Judgment Day defending We got Awesome Truth that
the
qualified.
The New Day,
The New Day and DIY.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
And we have
special.
We have 2 teams left.
Special. I just know that. Is Ricochet in a tag team?
No, he's not in a tag team right now.
I would have loved to see Ricochet in that match. It's fine. It's fine. Well, we're gonna see some craziness.
If we still had the Ricochet and Braun Strowman tag team from last year, I think that would have been really fun.
Goated, yeah.
But I think the next 2 teams we're gonna get are Authors of Pain and the Street Profits.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. And Street Profits did good last year, so
yeah,
that wouldn't be too bad. I'd like to see that.
And then you were saying that they're lacking big men in the match. I think Authors of Pain will make up for that because they're literally just 2 big ass dudes. That's all the big men you need.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love the big ass ladder matches at WrestleMania. Like, brother, remember when Jeff Hardy said, "Fuck it, I'm a swanton onto the floor through a ladder onto Edge, because why not? Leg drop." Yeah. Like, it's crazy the shit that they do. That's the thing at WrestleMania. You notice that everyone takes bumps a lot harder than they usually do, because that's it. That's the show. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna kill yourself, that's the show to do it on. You know what I mean? That's it. If you're gonna go down in legacy, then you gotta throw it all on the ring right then and there, and that's what WrestleMania is. It's gonna be such a great one. I'm gonna watch that shit live. I already called out for work. I scheduled it. It's great. I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Jeez. Have you seen like the theories going into that 6-pack tag team ladder match?
What do we think?
So a lot of people have been wanting WWE to split the tag titles because it's the Raw and SmackDown titles together. That's why they have 2 belts. But a lot of people are thinking that one team is going to grab one belt, and at the same time another team is going to grab the other belt, and that's how they split the tag titles between Raw and SmackDown.
That would be actually mental. Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's like 2 winners, and then that's how they split up the tag team.
That would be so memorable, too. That's actually great. That's genius booking. I would love to see that.
It would be great. Like, people are saying, like, what if you had, like, R-Truth grab one title, and he thinks, he won the whole thing, and then, like, you get, like, the Street Profits or something come in and take the other one. They just capitalize on the opportunity.
That would be good. I definitely want Awesome Truth to win a belt. Absolutely. Oh, yeah!
It would be great.
No, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. If anything, I want to see You know what would be crazy? If R-Truth went up with Judgment Day gets a belt, right? They go up there, they grab one belt, and then R-Truth gets up there and grabs the other belt because he thinks he's on Judgment Day's side. And he's like, wait, no, that's not how it works. And then the Miz is just celebrating. He's like, who's that guy? And then runs away or some shit. I want to see
what
that.
I really want to see.
What?
I really want to see a spot of R-Truth throwing everyone over the top rope and then thinking he won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, of course. It's like, damn, there's a lot of people in this ring. It must be the Royal Rumble. At least I'm in the right gender this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I want to see that.
Because he thought the Royal Rumble was a tag match this year. Or it's a ladder match. He might try to pin someone.
I want to see that shit too. I want to see him get. Remember, like in one of the really old Royal Rumbles, like someone tried to pin Yokozuna. I think it was Macho Man. He tried to pin Yokozuna and he just pushed him out of the ring.
Yeah, he got thrown over the. He got thrown over the top rope.
I want to see that shit. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Oh, that's gonna be a great match. I think because both of those are gonna be day one. I'm not sure, but. If they are...
I would hope so.
If they are, it's going to be a contest between those 2 matches on which one's going to steal the show. I think it's going to be the 6-pack, but I really, really think that triple threat's going to be something special too. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting Mania.
I agree.
Are there any other matches that
There's one more. There's one more. A big one that we haven't talked about yet. Sami Zayn versus Gunter for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 40. What are we saying? What do we think?
Another one that I'm really fucking excited for because I love Gunther and I love Sami Zayn.
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be... I think Gunther's retaining.
I think Gunther's retaining, and I want Gunther to retain. I think he's a badass. I think they should keep him up.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn is really good at what he does, but there was this one
promo. Great.
There was this one promo that I absolutely loved where this guy, I don't know his name, but he basically said something along the lines of, Sammy, you're great at what you do. This is what you did against me to qualify for this match. All you did...
Chad Gable.
Yeah, him, Chad Gable. Chad Gable said, like, listen, this is what you do. You fight and you fight until you find an opportunity, then you exploit it. But the thing with Gunther is there are no holes in his game. You will not find a way to exploit, something to exploit. You will not find a weakness. Gunther is just the best of what he does, that kind of thing. So I think that's a good way to like get into Sammy's head. I think and I want Gunther to retain. That's what I want. He's so fucking good in the ring. For the matches I've seen with him, like that triple threat with him, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, he's gotta win.
Oh yeah,
he's gotta win.
Gunther's a monster in the ring, bro.
He really is.
It's really hard to find someone that can beat him because it's not just a thing of like he's been undefeated for so long, but it's that he's actually like really fucking good in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Like Roman's been undefeated like for a long time, right? You know, he's still the champion. He's held it for a while, but he always gets help, right? He always gets some kind of interference in his match. Gunther doesn't have that shit. Gunther is always one-on-one. Like just Gunther by himself, and then like you'll hit Gunther with a finisher, and he'll roll out of the ring before you get the chance to pin him. It's like he always has something up his sleeve, you know, to keep the match going. It's insane.
I just can't.
I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm same. I just can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It's such a good Mania. There's not a single bad match on this card. It just looks amazing, bro. And I can say right now, the new Triple H headed WWE is looking bright. I'm just saying.
It is.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Paul Levesque, he knows what he's doing.
yeah. It's not perfect, but it's way better than what we were getting before.
100%. I remember all those goddamn filler matches that we'd be watching back in the PG era. Yeah, fuck that.
Oh my god.
It wasn't fun. But now we don't get that, so it's great.
We'd be getting fucking Santino versus like Vladimir Kozlov or some shit.
Yeah, complete waste of everybody's time. It's like no one cares about this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
you get a women's match that's like 2 minutes long, but it feels like it's 30 because like they're not doing anything except for their finisher, and that's it. And it's like whatever, who cares? Move on.
Nobody.
And that's how like all the matches would feel.
Yeah.
It's like literally you would only be there to watch John Cena, and he's there for like 20 minutes out of a 3-hour show. It's it's insane.
Yeah, dude. Yes, I hope John Cena wins again, man, because it's been so long since he's lost, and the way he lost to Solo, just despicable, bro. I really want him to win again. It's been forever, fucking guy. So I hope he does win. And I have one final point. I have one final point. Do you have any points that you wanted to present?
Like just in general, or about? Are we still talking WrestleMania?
Something that you wanted to bring up? Anything?
No, it's been a pretty slow week. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, I mean, how do you feel about Sony re-releasing all the Spider-Man movies in theaters?
That's a thing. Oh yeah. It is a thing. I don't mind it. Sure, I mean, we'll watch it.
Yeah. I saw a post that someone made when they announced it. Someone was like, "Oh, Madam Web bombed." like for them to have to do this, holy shit.
Holy shit, yeah! Holy shit, that makes a lot of sense. It's like, damn, we're not gonna make our money back. We released the Sony Spider-Man movie. Okay. Fucking hell, that makes so much.
Just drop every Spider-Man movie in theaters. Give them everything we got. We gotta make our money back.
That makes so much more fucking sense now. I was like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, money, yeah, but like, why are you doing this and you haven't done it before? Oh, it's scapegoat. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Sony's a bunch of fuck. Let me tell you something. Sony's made some great stuff, but whoever's the head of the Spider-Man department, a couple of fucking sleazeballs. Okay, I don't care. All right, with the Spider-Verse movies coming around, such pieces of shit fucking Spider-Verse movies. I just can't take them seriously anymore. I can't. After seeing Madam Web, I can't.
Before people in the comments freak out, he's talking about the live-action Spider-Verse movies, we're not
talking about animated
ones.
Animated are amazing. The people over there are amazing. I'm talking about the live-action Venom, Morbius, and Madam Web movies. Those are pieces of garbage. And they continue to pump them out. So yeah, I'm talking about those people. Calm down.
Yeah. Because you said Spider-Verse, and I was immediately like, "Oh, people are gonna take that the wrong way."
Oh boy! I would have put like a little annotation, like not annotation, like a word with a little what is that called? The fucking. I would have made a correction. Up there and say, hey, actually, Spider-Verse movies. I'm talking about the live action. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Madam Web.
Fuck Madam Web. I can't stand that shit.
It's so weird that I'm seeing people on social media now that the movie's out on digital. They're like, this scene was actually not that bad.
No!
I'm like, what are you talking about?
No!
What are you talking about?
No! Let me tell you something about fucking, como se dice, how people try to frame movies nowadays, okay? Let me tell you something to you, okay? When something is defined as mid or okay, that means that it's not worth your time. Not that, oh, it's, you can watch it and it's okay. No. If the general consensus is that something is mid or it's acceptable, that means that the movie wasn't insulting. As in, the movie was bare bones okay. Now, me personally, this is talking about me. I value my time. And so when I go out to watch something or play something on a video game or listen to an album or whatever, I try to watch, listen, and play the best. I try to play the games that are truly worth my time and worth my money and support. You know why? Because I value my very limited time on this earth. Alright, so when I see shit like, Kung Fu Panda 4 was mid, it was alright, it was okay. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to go out to theaters and watch it. Because why would I go out and watch an average film when I can stay in and watch amazing fucking films that are in the top 250 of IMDb? It's just not worth my time. It's just not. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch a bad movie or an acceptable movie here and there. You have to take risks, and that's fine. All I'm saying is don't take mid or acceptable as a positive, because it's not. Mid or acceptable is a negative. It is what it is for the viewer and for the company that made it. Average does not carry a universe, does not carry a franchise. Average does not carry a company, because there's plenty of average out there. So, yeah, that's my take. How do you feel about that?
My take is that I try to watch anything and everything regardless of what people say.
That's fair.
I usually look at who's making the movie, and I mean, like, in terms of director, I look for directors. I don't look for, I like that actor. It's like every now and then I would do that, but it's usually just, okay, who's behind this project? Like, what company is distributing it, that kind of thing. And so, I'll go, if I like the trailer, then I'll most likely go and watch it. If I don't think the trailer looks that interesting, then I might give it a watch if it's like on streaming, but I'm not really going to go out of my way to watch it in theaters. But I usually try to watch anything and everything because I try to consume as much as possible. And, if you watch bad movies, it makes the good movies seem that much better. And if you watch something that's just okay, then, you probably see maybe it's an up and coming filmmaker that has, a lot of potential with them. It's like, okay, maybe this one of their earlier movies is not that good. If the next one looks interesting and is decent, I'll go give that a watch and support the filmmaker. But if it's just something that it's like, if it's something like Madam Web, where it's like obviously made by like corporate suits, and they don't really care about the artistry or the craft, it's just like, I'll watch it to make fun of it. That's really it. I'm going to watch it that one time, never again. But I just like watching everything. I like knowing everything. I don't know. I'm just that kind of person. I see a movie poster, I'm like, I wonder what that is, I'm curious about anything and everything.
I like your take. I actually agree with most of it. What I like about your take is that you're talking about the creative people behind it, people who are actually trying.
Oh, yeah.
That's different. That's not.
It's different. It's different than like Sony's live action Spider-Verse, because that's obviously like corporate made cash grab bullshit. It's like people know this character, let's make some money off of it, and they're not even thinking about why should we make this movie? What are people going to find interesting about this? It's like, no, how can we make a franchise out of these nobody characters that nobody cares for because it's not Spider-Man? And, they're not giving the fans what they want. They're just seeing dollar signs every chance they get. They're cheaply made movies that are very, they're like under 2 hours or just about 2 hours. They push them out to theaters. They know people or diehard fans are going to go see them. They make money off of that, and then that's it. And they go make the next one. Rinse and repeat. And so those I don't support. I only watch them to make fun of them. That is it. I don't watch them because it's like, I think this movie's going to be good. It's like, no, if I see Sony Pictures in association with Marvel, that's going to be like the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life,
Right.
and it's going to be kind of funny.
And
So
one thing I want to point out is I agree with your sentiment that when you look at a film and you think, well, maybe it's a new filmmaker, and then you want to support their next stuff because maybe it's good. Those are good. Those are definitely. I can actually agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Mhm.
But what my point was revolving around, and I know that you know this, but I'm making it clear for the mic,
Mhm.
is that my viewpoint goes around big movies, big companies, big whatever. For example,
yeah, blockbuster spectacle films.
For
yeah.
example, Rebel Moon. I'm never gonna watch that shit. You know why? Because I never
Yeah.
liked Zack Snyder as a director. I just haven't. As a DOP, yeah. As a guy who writes his stories, no, never have. So I'm not going to watch his newest stuff because if people say unless people are saying Zack Snyder has changed and he's done this for the better, which no one did, then I'm just not gonna watch it. It's not worth my time. Another thing that's not worth my time, not really, is the fucking the Godzilla X Kong movies and shit. They're just not worth my time and money. I might go out there and watch it in Dolby with a friend just for like the spectacle of it, and maybe if a friend wants to see it. But me personally, if I had to choose, I'd never put a dime towards that because it's just not what I love in cinema. What I love in cinema is intent, is deep subject matter, great character work. Just seeing the spectacle of a big CGI battle, guess where I can see that? YouTube. A few weeks after the movie comes out, I can just watch the scenes on YouTube. Why I gotta pay all this cash just to see something I can see on YouTube? Fuck off. So here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that those big CGI battles, or like the saber fights in Star Wars, the prequels, those make up a very small percentage of the film. The other
actual movie,
exactly. The other 2 hours and 20 minutes of the film is shit that you don't like seeing. Like, we don't like seeing the people shit in Godzilla. No one cares about those characters, yet they take up the majority of the film. So you're telling me that the majority of the film isn't worth my time? Then why should I go see it? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just dumb. You know what I mean? Como se dice? Like you said, that when it comes to like a new filmmaker or like a new intellectual property, of course, take a chance. That's different. You know what I mean? When I see these crazy big corporation, big budget movies, and I see how much lack of care there is and how many addictive chemicals they pump into it, like fast food, it's not worth my time. I don't want to support it. And that's the truth. So yeah, that's what I have. That's my take. I appreciate you sharing. Anything else you wanted to say about that before we move on?
No, just, I respect either way. If you want to watch movies that are only worth your time, go for it. If you're like me and you want to watch everything, do that too. Yeah. You might find some really good movies, and you might find some really bad, shitty ones that you can recommend to friends. And that's just for the fun of it.
Indeed, and that's the duality of it, right? Is that people like me who want to make sure their time isn't wasted. A lot of other people were willing to just watch anything because they love cinema in general. You know what I mean? And so they go out, they watch it, and then if it's really good, guess what? They did the legwork for people like me, so it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect.
And it's a thing of like. And it's a thing of like, I went to film school, and as someone who enjoys the behind the scenes, the making of movies, when you watch a bad movie, you can still learn stuff from it or find something interesting in it.
Yes, you can.
In terms of how it was made. Because it's like, look at The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's not a great movie. I actually don't hate it. I still, quite like it. Fair. But the behind the scenes for that movie is infinitely more interesting to me than the actual movie itself, because I like how much of it was done in camera. I like the dedication there was to the CGI. But if you want me to sit there and think about how interesting of a character Harry Osborn is, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna happen to me. I'm more interested in being like, yo, that scene was made because of this and this and this. It's like, oh, that's cool as fuck.
right.
About all the shit of like, hey, we're trying to build a cinematic universe. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Now,
Rhino's 30-second cameo. I don't need that shit.
Right. Now, general audiences won't give a shit about our takes, and that's fine. They don't need to. It's not for them. These takes are for cinema buffs, movie buffs, and these takes are also for people who love the process of film. And I think lean.
Keep in mind that general audiences watch like 3 movies a year. I watch like 1 movie a week in theaters.
Easy.
So it's like,
I just want to point that out. That like, I probably lean more towards the cinema buff, like more movie buff, more fan oriented, while you lean more towards loving the process of film, loving loving the behind the scenes. I love that shit too, but it's on a hand select few, the ones that really wow me. You're with that with everything. You know what I mean? So I think you lean more towards that spectrum. I can lean over there, but you're over there all
Depends
the
on the
time.
film.
That's your home.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Like a
Yeah.
shitty movie would come out and be like, it had what budget? It's like, huh?
I visit. You live there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Godzilla
exactly, yeah.
-1. Fucking hell. I still have to watch that. I'm telling you,
Oh,
I will. I
so
will.
fucking good.
The fact that it won an
Yeah.
Oscar is wild.
You were just saying how like we don't care about the people shitting Godzilla movies, and I do agree with that until I saw Godzilla -1, and it's just that American Godzilla movies are not good at it.
They're just not good at it, right? Like
They're not good at it.
The exception to this is Kong Skull Island. That's the only exception, and really, those characters aren't deep. They're more caricatures. Except I love John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I agree.
there's decent characters in that, and como se dice, the characters are actually entertaining to watch. Kong Skull Island is the exception to the rule. The rule being that the characters are shit all the time.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
got Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's like, oh, it's a divorced family. And,
Millie,
you know,
Millie
and we care
Bobby
about our
Brown.
daughter, and it's like, who gives a give me fucking Ghidorah versus Godzilla?
For real.
I don't want to see any of this shit,
Nobody
bro.
cares.
But then in Godzilla -1, you got character drama. They're talking and shit, and then 20 minutes go by, and you're like, oh shit, Godzilla's in this movie.
We like that shit. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like literally an hour
Yeah.
would go by, and you're so invested in like the character drama and shit, and then all of a sudden this big scene would happen. And you're like, oh fuck, Godzilla's in this.
Yeah.
That's literally how I felt watching the movie, and
I
it
love
felt
it.
so good
I love
after
it.
the movie, saying that like, damn, those characters were really interesting. I would like to see more of that.
Mhm.
And it's like that shit was in a Godzilla movie, and Godzilla was probably in the movie for a total of 10 minutes. I don't know the actual numbers, but Godzilla was not in -1 for that long.
You know what that?
And the fact that the movie was still so fucking good says something. It's like, I need more of it.
You know what that reminds me of? Like, let's say a server were to bring you out a piece of cake, like for dessert. You just had your meal, you're good. You're gonna have your piece of cake, and then you get your fork, and then or spoon, whatever you use, you weirdo, and you go in there to take a slice, but it's not just cake, it's ice cream cake. Oh. You know what I mean?
They got the filling and shit.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Insert your favorite cake here. Right. It's great.
When I
man.
went to go see Godzilla -1, I had not seen any trailers. I just knew it was a Godzilla movie because that's in the fucking title. That's it.
Yeah.
And I knew it was from Japan. I knew it wasn't American. Knew it was not American made. The only Godzilla movie I had seen before then, like Japan wise, was Shin Godzilla from 2016 and the original 1954 Godzilla, and both of them were really good and had interesting subject matter. So with -1, I kind of went in with like the expectation of, okay, we're gonna get something deep and meaningful here, and I was right because Japan knows how to fucking do a Godzilla
They
movie.
do know how to do it, man. Just like how Koreans know how to do zombie flicks. They just know. They just know.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing is, -1 coming out so soon before Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, fuck that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it look so much worse because the trailers for Godzilla, they're two different movies trying to do two different things, right? But when you look at Godzilla, fun popcorn monster movie flick, CGI everywhere, and then you have like the fucking war movie character drama that is -1. It's like, I'm gonna go for the character drama over the spectacle every single time. So I think they should have looked at -1 and said, we're gonna delay Godzilla X Kong. You gotta give people time to digest it, because now all the reviews for Godzilla X Kong are gonna be, oh, but -1 did it better.
Yeah.
That's literally all it's gonna be, and I know that that's gonna be my reaction. I'm probably gonna watch Godzilla X Kong in theaters. I don't really care for it, but I'm gonna watch it because I've seen all the MonsterVerse movies up to this point.
Right.
So it's like, I might as well watch the next one. That's how I feel with Marvel now, right? It's like, might as well watch the next one. Not really excited for it, but I'm gonna see it regardless.
The thing is, guys, remember, he works at a theater. It's okay.
I work at a movie theater, so I'm not.
He's
I'm
not
paying
supporting
for it.
nothing. Yeah, exactly.
But if I don't work there, I will probably, get the AMC A list with 3 free movies a week just for the fuck of it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's cool. I like watching movies in theaters. I'm just that kind of guy. So
Same. I really do love theaters. That's the thing.
if I can watch it in theaters instead of waiting for it to be on streaming, I'm gonna pick theaters. That's who I am.
I agree. Theaters are great. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I already know after seeing Godzilla X Kong, my reaction is gonna be, yeah, -1 did it better. I already know.
Right.
Before even watching the movie.
Yeah.
That's,
Easy. Not even.
I forgot what the point of the conversation was, but yeah, -1 is a great movie.
No, we were near the end of it anyway. It's good.
Yeah.
So one final point. Do you have any other points you wanted to bring up before I get to my final point? Because once I start my final point, I order my Uber Eats. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can start your final point. We've been I don't know how long we've been talking for, but
about let me check. Hour 15. So pretty good. We're hitting that.
Not bad. Yeah, we're making good time.
The thing is that it's not the length of the video. It's the amounts of clips we have. We have at least like 10 clips here already, so it's easy.
Yeah.
I make them as I make them. So, como se dice, the last point of the day, and this is a big one, at least in the gaming universe, it is Resident Evil 5 remake. Now, personally, I'm looking forward to this remake, but we know someone who isn't. IGN.
Wait, was that confirmed?
No, it's not confirmed, but
is it just like people are just assuming
considering the teaser at the end of Resident Evil 4 with Albert Wesker, the main antagonist of Resident Evil 5, and the fact that he's not in Resident Evil Veronica, which is the only other game they could remake, it looks like it will indeed be Resident Evil 5.
Interesting.
With that being said,
I was out of the loop on that, so
you got it.
Continue.
With that being said, recently a take came out that IGN recently made that wasn't popular amongst fans, to say the least. Now, with that being said, I actually went out and watched the IGN video. I know, horrible. So I actually went out and
I actually watched IGN.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. First of all, I just want to say something before we even start the take that they gave. I just want to give you a little bit of context, just the smallest little itty bit of context. When Resident Evil 5 came out, guess what rating IGN gave it? A 9! A 9 out of 10!
Yeah.
Just want to point that out. Because as this video continues, as this clip, whatever you're watching this on, Space Shuttle, it continues to get crazier. So, first of all, Resident Evil 5, when it came out, they gave them a 9. Now, at the time, when Resident Evil 5 came out, there were some racist allegation kind of going around. Basically, there was a debate amongst journalists and the media that Resident Evil 5 was indeed racist because of white colonialism, or, a white person going into Africa shooting black people. That's the initial thought. That's the initial thing. Oh my God, this imagery looks horrible. Why would they do this? And, of course, normal people, like you and me, normal people, like pretty much any gamer that's ever existed, no one was ever offended by this game, ever. Simply the only people that were offended was the media, including IGN, because IGN needs to prove how not racist we are, quote unquote. That's my take of it. There's quite a few mixed reactions. There's quite a few negative reactions, rather, to IGN. I believe their dislike ratio was somewhere around 2.4 thousand likes to 15,000 dislikes, give or take. And 170,000 viewed video, so yeah, that's pretty big. I will be showing screenshots of multiple comments where people from Nigeria or South Africa, or pretty much anybody from that region, actually not giving a shit about the imagery, because Resident Evil is a zombie game where you shoot zombies in the head. That's all it is. It is really that simple. It has nothing to do with white colonialism or how white people have disempowered the black man. Thing is, all the other Resident Evils had you do the same thing, go to a location and shoot the people from that location. Nobody got mad when Spaniards were being shot in Resident Evil 4, and nobody got mad when Japanese people were being shot in Resident Evil 6. Yet people get mad when people in Africa are being shot. Except they're not people. They're zombies. I think they're called, I forget their name. It's the Ouroboros virus, but they're basically zombies. Infected individuals that are zombies that we must kill. It is really that simple. It is not anything more complicated than that, IGN. So please, for the love of God, do not let your little dumb fuck narrative ruin the narrative pursuits of the new Capcom remake for Resident Evil 5. Because Capcom has been making awesome games, and if they feel any kind of quote-unquote social pressure, they may feel like they need to pivot and change the story, their original idea of a story, just to fit your narrative, which, by the way, nobody who's ever actually played the game or has watched the game or is anything involved with the game actually believes and agrees with your narrative. Nobody. Not a single person that I know. Not a single person in the comments. Not a single YouTuber. Nobody agrees with you, IGN. Yet you continue to push this self-righteous narrative that you are the arbiters, that you are correct, that if you don't do it, if you don't make it the way that we say you need to make it, then you can't make the remake. It is the only decision. That's basically what your take was, IGN, and I wholeheartedly disagree. And I think that if you were to just look inward and think that you are probably just painting your own narrative around the video game, that maybe you'd probably be thinking of yourselves as the racist. Because no one said anything about race the entire game. I played it multiple times. No one says anything about race the entire game. It is simply you shooting zombies in Africa. That is it. If you find a white colonialism message in there, that means that you've stopped digging the rabbit hole that is Resident Evil 5, and you've started to make your own hole on the other side of the fucking map and made up your own conclusions. You get my drift? So, all this to say, don't believe what IGN says. If you truly want to have an opinion on Resident Evil 5, you should either watch a playthrough of it or play the game yourself. It's really cheap right now. Don't believe everything that you see and or read. And fuck IGN. That's all I have. Any thoughts?
Nice. This is the first time I'm really hearing of this. So it's interesting what their perspective is on Resident Evil 5. The entire time I was just thinking, when these kinds of storylines or these kind of headlines surface and come up about certain games, you start to think of a lot of other examples that they are not targeting at all. See, I immediately thought of the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie game.
Yeah.
For about half that game, you're in Africa as Wolverine, ripping black people in half. And not once did I think that game was racist in any way. I just thought, oh, cool, I'm playing as Wolverine.
They were militia in Africa being killed by a fictional character, Wolverine. They were mercenaries.
Yeah.
That's all it was. There is nothing past that narrative. If you find something else in that narrative, that means that you are hallucinating. You have a mirage of sorts. While you're digging that hole, you suffered from heat exhaustion. Get hydrated and shut the fuck up. Continue.
Yeah. And it's also pointed out in the story of not just the game, but in the movie too, that the mercenaries that Wolverine was with were the bad guys. So you're not really doing good things during that section of the game. So I don't know. I know that, a lot of games and just stories in general, lots of media do have political undertones in them. But I think a lot of times people look too far into it. Yeah. So when you have something like, oh, you're fighting zombies in Africa, it's like, oh, you're killing black people because this game is racist. Mm-hmm. That's not the case at all. In Grand Theft Auto, if I run over a random dude, I'm not running over him because of his political allegiance. I'm running over him because I'm a bad fucking driver in GTA.
Here's the thing. You're not running over a guy. You're not running over a guy. You're running over
it's a fucking code.
That's what you're doing.
Code.
And yet I'm the racist. Another thing I want
exactly.
I'm sorry. Another thing I want to point out for Resident Evil 5, just in case people think this is like, oh well, you're a white man shooting zombies that happen to be black. Let me add another thing. Guess who the second protagonist is? As in, who's your partner? Sheva Alomar. Where do you think she's from? Africa. So I don't know. Maybe she's racist against her own people. Yeah, that's what it is. My bad.
Black on black crime.
Yeah, you're right. Continue.
But if they thought about that, there wouldn't be a headline.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. That, at the end of the day, IGN just doesn't understand that this is a video game that takes place in Africa. And no one cares when Spaniards are shot or Japanese people are shot. Because guess what? It doesn't matter. It's a zombie game. That's all it is. Stop with the bullshit, man. Seriously.
Video games are video games, guys.
It's a video game. It's a video game. And if Resident Evil 5 actually had that subject matter, like let's say there's something in like text form, like you could read notebooks and it said something along those lines and like it started to go into like deep racist stuff, then yeah. But None of that exists. You know how I know? Because I played that game over and over and over and over again throughout my childhood. Nothing like that exists. The closest to something like that exists is when a village deep in Africa is being tested on for the Ouroboros virus, and they're like testing people there. But the thing is, guess what happens in literally every single Resident Evil game that's ever been made ever. The bad guys test their monsters, their mutagens, whatever it's called, on innocent people. Literally every Resident Evil game. It was not exclusive to Resident Evil 5. So
that's the fucking plot of Resident Evil.
That's all it is. So if you're trying to tell me that that's what it was, which that's not what IGN said, because of course, why would they? Actually make some kind of sense. Because it's fucking IGN. Instead, they tried to give you the narrative that, the advertising gave you hints of white colonialism because a white man was shooting a black man. That's literally all it was. There was nothing else. There was nothing else to their argument. They just kept saying that we're right, you're wrong, don't do it again, Capcom. That's it. That's all they were saying. I hope Resident Evil 5 is not affected by this bullshit take, because that's what it is. It's bullshit. You don't do your research, you don't play the game, and you don't see that it's actually just a dumb zombie game where you have fun and shoot zombies all day. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be. It's a fun fucking action game that if you truly want to have an opinion on, you should actually play and or watch. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I don't want to entertain the idea any further. Continue with my take. With your take, rather, and I'm done. Continue.
So white zombies are okay?
Yeah, white zombies
IGN?
are okay.
Huh?
Japanese zombies are okay. In Resident Evil 6, I can shoot dogs. Where's PETA? Huh? Fuck you, alright? It's a video game. It's so goddamn... You know what? We're done. This is fuck IGN. That's the last words of the podcast. Fuck IGN.
Bet.